Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I know we are rounding up the week at International Coaching Week. So it's with great pleasure that I welcome you all here on behalf of the entire ICF Mumbai Charter Chapter team. So this year, we are observing the 25th International Coaching Week. ICW, as you all know, all of you being coaches, is all about celebrating coaching, celebrating coaches, reaching out to the world across chapters globally in this very unified effort. Now, the sentiment of this week and this entire effort is also echoed in the sentiment of a slogan that we've all heard and which is very dear to me. And it is leave no one behind. This is the slogan of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. I'm sure you've heard this. The ICF Foundation and the very prestigious IGNITE program are very closely aligned with the SDGs, and they have been doing very deep work in this area. So we have with us today 5 very accomplished and very committed individuals from the coaching committee and the ICF Foundation. And we will be hearing from them of the lasting impact that can be created on humanity and the planet through the IGNITE program initiatives. So let me just take a minute to introduce and welcome everyone. They're on your screen, and I'm requesting Nilima to spotlight them one by one as I call them out, and then I'm just going to hand over to them and step away. So I'm very pleased to introduce to you Sundar Vishwanathan. Sundar is a trustee with the ICF Foundation. Hi, Sundar. Welcome. We have with us Jeff G, Treasurer, ICF Foundation, and one of the long-standing members of ICF Malaysia. Jeff is a regular at all our events and participants, and he's a great supporter of the ICF Mumbai team. Hi, Jeff. So nice to have you here. Kathleen Lehada. Kathleen is Director Social Impact, ICF Foundation. Welcome, Kathleen. We are hosting you for the first time and looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Sushima.
Dr. Uttara Patnaik, Council of Ambassador, ICF Foundation. Uttara is well known to us. We've interacted with her before. She's guided us through some of our previous IGNITE projects. Hi, Uttara. So good to see you again.
Thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you.
And last but definitely not the least, Rashmi Shetty, who is Secretary of the ICF Foundation, a good friend of the ICF Mumbai team. Hi, Rashmi.
Hi, Tushima, and hello, everybody. Thank you so much, first and foremost, to ICF Mumbai for hosting us tonight.
Great, thanks. So with this, Rashmi, I hand over to you. Welcome, everyone. Have a great session. Rashmi, take it away.
Thank you, Tushima. And we made it very clear amongst ourselves that it's going to be not a formal session moderated, but each of us will take our roles and explain to you what the ICF Foundation is all about, what is our purpose, our mission, who comprises the foundation, and a quick intro on all of those before we move into what is this IGNITE we are talking about, and why the UN Sustainability Goals. So all of this is what you'll be listening to, and some amazing success stories through IGNITE that have happened. Post that, we'll also tell you the opportunities and openings to become part of IGNITE if it interests you, what you need to do. And then we're always available for your questions. So this is the format for the evening, and that's how we're going to go ahead. So as we move on, well, this is the Board of Trustees of the Foundation. A quick name call, that's it. Dr. Yene is our chairperson. Wangi is the vice chair, Jeff, the treasurer. Then it's me, Sundar, Willie, Rania, Jose, and Cora, who is the vice president. This comprises the Board of Trustees with the ICF. And as we move on, who are the others behind us who are making sure that everything we are saying is being implemented at the back end? They may not be coming forth most of the time. Thank you, Rebecca, for joining us. Rebecca is here. She's Director of Development and Donor Engagement, while Kathleen you've already met. And Kale is the Outreach and Communications Manager. Nisha is the Executive Assistant, and so is Natasha, who's the Administrative Assistant. These are the people behind this who make all that we say and promise in such webinars possible and answer your questions at the earliest. So we have another group of people for whom applications are being called out regularly, called our Council of Ambassadors. They are the brand ambassadors of the foundation, a dedicated team of volunteers. And this is spread all over the world. And they hold a huge impact on how the projects that we would like under Ignite are rooted through them. So it becomes easy for the chapter so that you don't have to reach the foundation, the staff, or anyone. You just reach out to the ambassador. Like for India, it is Uttara, Dr. Uttara, who's here with us, an amazing ambassador who's been with foundation long enough and has also been an award winner herself for the projects that she's been part of. I won't take away her time, but she'll be sharing the stories from India, where Ignite and India have actually worked. Though not many of us are aware, the foundation has very closely worked with Ignite, thanks to Dr. Uttara and Shruti, who are part of the Council of Ambassadors. Now, what is the purpose of the foundation? As coaches, this is some very important element that we need to ask ourselves. The ICF is made up of 6 family organizations. The foundation is one of those family organizations. The main idea is to empower coaches, local chapters, and also the entire family to make it one ICF. And also very important to understand what are those insertion points where we bring in coaching when we work with the social development sectors and amplify these impacts so that the world of coaching is spread so far and wide that people understand why coaching is important. And it is very important that at this point we understand our mission, and you too need to. So it's about amplifying the impact, and the framework is the UN Global Goals. Now, all of us have heard about the global goals, and it's important here to understand just a little context setting that the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development was adopted at the UN with the member states in 2015. And it was all about a shared blueprint only to get peace and prosperity for the people and the planet. 17 sustainable goals, which are commonly called as UN SDGs, were picked because this was the urgent call for action for all countries, developed and developing, and to form a global partnership. The idea was you make sure you deprive the world of poverty and bring in a lot of economic growth, but all this while you tackle climate change and work towards preserving oceans and forests. So this is where it ties beautifully with ICF. So if you've gone to our ICF Global website, it's very clearly mentioned there that the ICF is critically aware too and working on how to improve climate crisis that is facing the world today. It's something that we cannot anymore ignore. And this is one of the biggest challenges the humankind has faced. And therefore, ICF has joined with 10 other global coaching and mentoring, global psychology and supervision professional bodies and has released a statement. The entire statement is available on our website. If you haven't read it, I recommend you go and read it, because this is all about how to tackle and make climate change a topic in our coaching. And I'll just read a small excerpt because it makes complete sense here, that as professional bodies who are dedicated wholly or in part to the role of coaching, coaching psychology, mentoring, and supervision to develop individuals, teams, organizations, and to create social value, we have committed to work together to play our part in addressing the climate emergency. And this is there in the ICF page as well. So one ICF is completely connected, and with this positive impact of coaching, the whole idea was to ignite humanity. So pro bono coaching, yes, to social development sector was what was offered, but there are slight changes in the Ignite 3.0, which Kathleen will be telling us about. And what are those changes? What is Ignite is very important for us to know. And therefore, I now hand it over to Kathleen to lead us on. Kathleen, all yours.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, and thank you to the ICF Mumbai Chapter for inviting us today. It's truly humbling to be part of this discussion. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Ignite initiative, what it is about, when it started, and also for you to really understand the impact around this Ignite initiative program. So the ICF Foundation created the Ignite initiative, which started out as a pro bono coaching program to strengthen organizations' ability to effectively fulfill their missions and mobilize change towards the attainment of the UN global goals. And Rashmi has described, the correlation between the work we do and the UN global goals very well. The ICF Foundation believes that coaching can change lives of those working to accelerate social change by strengthening their leadership, productivity, and resilience as change makers. By optimizing teams and leadership, organizations become more effective and efficient in improving lives and impacting people on the planet for generations to come. The Ignite initiative uses the collective power of ICF chapters, members, and credential holders to resource social organizations by coaching their leaders and co-workers using the ICF Foundation's unique set of knowledge and tools. The purpose is to promote a global network of coaches implementing coaching projects that benefit humanity and a healthy planet. Like I mentioned previously, the Ignite initiative was launched in the year 2017 with a specific focus on coaching leaders of educational organizations who are working towards the UN Global Goal number 4, which is education. But this year, we've decided to also focus on 3 specific goals, just the way Rashmi has mentioned. That's goal number 13, which is climate action. Then we have goal number 6, which is clean water and sanitation. And we have goal number 5, which is gender equality. We are also encouraging chapters to focus on the other 17 goals, the other represented UN global goals, so that we are able to make sure that we are touching each one of it. So the Ignite initiative also evolved in terms of its beneficiaries, including students and co-workers who do not necessarily have a leadership role, but who are all working towards fostering social impact within societies. So the Ignite initiative is a 6-month coaching engagement. Coaching is offered at a reduced rate, and this is something we introduced this year. For organizations who are unable to pay for the coaching, they need to demonstrate the need for financial hardship in order to receive the pro bono coaching. In terms of the impact of the program, from 2017 to 2022, we've been able to provide coaching to a total of 868 leaders and university students. We have touched organizations across 31 countries and benefited close to 111 educational and nonprofit organizations. And in relation to the SDGs that we've been able to work on, the UN Global Goals, we've worked on a total of 12 plus United Global Goals. So how does Ignite initiative really impact leaders within the organizational level? Leaders and other team members in nonprofit organizations have reported that the Ignite initiative contributed to organizational changes that have ultimately led to more effective work towards the attainment of the UN global goals. So within the Ignite initiative, we have specific metrics that we use to be able to bring out the impact of professional coaching within societies. And these specific metrics, they include operational efficiency, employee engagement, time savings, employee retention, and more constituents served. From the report and the analysis that we've been able to do from the data we've been able to conduct based on the data we've received, it shows evidence that operational efficiency within organizations are able to improve through coaching. So there was a total of 62% who had mentioned this, both from the coaching clients and also from the coaches themselves. Then we had a total of 54% who indicated that there was improvement in terms of employee engagement. 46% mentioned that there was improvement in terms of time savings within the organization. Then 17% also talked about employee retention. They indicated that coaching helped them to be able to retain employees within the organization. And of course, 14% also indicated that more constituents were served because of the coaching that was provided through the Ignite initiative. So in relation to the outcomes from an individual level, we also realized, there was huge impact in terms of professional development and personal growth among the coaching clients. And the highest was, personal development and growth, followed by leadership skills. So for personal development, coaching clients indicated between 2017 to 2022, those years, they indicated that 62% of them indicated that personal development and growth was really something that they experienced because of the professional coaching that they received. Then 57% also indicated that leadership skills was also improved because of the coaching. Communication skills was also indicated as a skill that was developed. Then we had the aspect of developing and managing people. They also indicated that coaching really helped in these areas. Also, there was problem-solving skills and teamwork skills, which was also reported as being improved because of the coaching that they received through the Ignite initiative. So most of the changes in Ignite initiative clients, it's being indicated that most of the coaches really focused on a more holistic way of coaching in terms of the coaching process, where individuals experience a journey of becoming more aware of their purpose, what prevents them from achieving their dreams, and how they can leverage their strengths to overcome their blocks. In this process of increasing self-awareness, they become more confident and motivated to pursue their goals in terms of personal and professional targets that they're working towards. So there are very clear, stories that are coming out from the initiative, Ignite initiative, in terms of the impact of the coaching. I know we've had organizations going through coaching within Malaysia and different parts of the world. And I will be just talking a little bit about this impact that was felt individually within organizations. Like, for example, within Malaysia, there was a member within an organization who was struggling with her fear of failure, which was holding her back from addressing new challenges. Through coaching, she was able to raise awareness of what was behind her fear. Working on her thought patterns and her tendency to be overly critical helped her to gain confidence in her personal and professional skills and abilities. There was another leader in Canada who felt that being coached in a more holistic way was very helpful in uncovering personal assumptions that affected his personal life and also professional life, preventing him from dealing openly with his team and moving forward with his career. Within this safe space, he was able to open up without fear of being judged, and expanded this coaching approach of building trust with his team. By the end of the coaching sessions, he also felt confident enough to apply for a more senior role within the organization. So really that communicates the impact of coaching when you look at the individual leader by themselves and realizing that if the leader is empowered, then if the organization is working towards specific UN global goal, it really is able to accelerate and amplify, either their mission or vision towards the attainment of those goals. And of course, it's the leaders who really work towards the attainment of these goals. So I just wanted to share a little bit until there, and then invite Uttara to share more stories from the Indian perspective. Welcome, Uttara.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Okay, all right. So my journey with Ignite, it has been really humbling, meaningful, and fulfilling. I have been associated with Ignite from its inception in 2017 and had the privilege of watching Ignite initiative growing from an intent of accelerating and amplifying social impact through coaching to making it a reality, where Ignite initiative has actually worked with 100+ organizations, actually 111 organizations to be accurate, impacting 16 million people's life in a span of 5 years. This is incredible. I'd like to just pause here and have a big round of applause for our diligent coaches, Ignite project team, both at a global and local level, and each individual who have been associated with Ignite in whatever capacity. Okay, now coming to Indian context, since 2017 to 22, India has participated in 12 Ignite projects, 9 projects, cumulatively 9 projects across all Indian chapters between 2017 to 2020. And from 2020 to 22, we have done 3 more Ignite projects. So the leaders who received coaching, the outcome of this project has been transformational. And the leaders who received coaching through Ignite projects not only improved their professional performances, they also have grown as better human beings, responsible citizens, powerful leaders, as this process enabled them to take charge of their life and be the leader they wish to be. This journey has been meaningful and enriching for both our coaches and the coachees who participated in the Ignite project. With this note, I actually would like to read out a feedback of one of our Ignite leader who had experienced the magic of coaching. This was one of the projects we did in 2018, and the coach was Nidhi Agarwal from Delhi NCR chapter that many of you probably know. This feedback was really touching, and I would like to read it out to each one of you so that you can understand the kind of impact coaching can make in order to drive changes. So here in the language of the coachee. When I was a kid, I had a small wooden box. Every night before going to bed, I judiciously kept things that were precious to me, like my pocket money, toy cars, balls, marbles, etc., in that box and locked it, secretly wishing that these things stored within the box would magically double overnight, and the next morning I would have more of what I had kept in the box. Obviously, that wish never came true. As I grew up, the wooden box was lost somewhere in my childhood, and along with it, I lost the magical wish. The hard realities and changes of life took over the innocent believer. The wooden box was replaced by my heart, wherein every night I stored my failures, setbacks, and disappointments. Over time, the pile grew larger, so much so that I dreaded looking into it. Then one day, I got an opportunity to meet Nidhi Agarwal, my coach, through ICF coaching. She subtly encouraged me to peek into the depths of my heart, overlooking all failures and disappointments, to discover the real me. And that is when I discovered the person who believes in inner strength, who is fair and just, who is principled and transparent too. and I discovered my radiant aura. The world around me did not change, but my perspective of looking at it has changed significantly. This has helped me to take everything in my stride and look at future with a positive look. The magical wish is back, and now I know that miracles do happen if you have faith in yourself. This is one of the feedback that we received from one of the leaders who were coached in the Ignite project. Last year, India completed 3 Ignite projects. The Brindavan Trust Ignite project was actually conducted by Mumbai Chapter that focused on providing holistic education to neurodiverse children. The second was Parivartan School, and the third was Shulini University. Both in Brindavan and Parivartan School, the teacher and the staff were coached, and in Shulini University, there were almost 600 students and staff who were coached by our coaches. At this point, may I call upon Tushima, who is the current president of ICF Chapter, Mumbai ICF Chapter, who was a coach in the Brindavan Ignite project. So if I can request Tushima to share her experience as a coach and the magic she experienced through her coach's transformation. Tushima, over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Uttara, for sharing, firstly, that very inspiring testimonial from Nidhi's coachee. Of course, Nidhi is very well known to us and to me, and I've had the pleasure of interacting with her many times.
It is amazing.
Yes, she is. So yes, I was one of the 6 coaches in the Brindavan project last year. Very fortunate. I think there were a number of things which made this project very special. Firstly, let me start with the nuts and bolts. I think the process and the documentation was fantastic. So because I'm a very process and documentation person, so having a very neatly laid out process of what happens, when it happens, how it gets documented, everything getting tracked, all sessions happening on time, everyone showing up, everyone taking an interest. And by everyone, I mean the coachee, the organization, the support system, the Ignite team, the ICF social partnerships team from Mumbai. Everyone was totally clued on throughout the project. So it was smooth sailing all the way. I think that was a very beautiful experience. The second thing was that as part of the team from Mumbai who were at the helm of the project, we also had Amita, who is actually from Bangalore and from the Bangalore chapter, but was seamlessly part of the team here also. And I think Amita's commitment and dedication was one of the things that kept all of us going, because we were really amazed at somebody who was from another chapter and who was really personifying collaboration and working beyond boundaries so beautifully and setting an example for the rest of us. So kudos to Amita. Of course, the coachee whom I worked with, that was a very beautiful experience, because all the things which you said, Uttara, of what happens to the Ignite coachee in terms of improving their performance and becoming a better human being and so on, all that actually happened to me. So whatever the coachee got out of the project, I think I got that as well as more. And she was very kind enough for us together to look at her wooden box and see what was in it. And it was a really lovely experience. So I'm definitely looking forward for many, many more coaches from ICF Mumbai to experience this, and the chance to make a lasting impact on somebody else's life through a process like this is absolutely unforgettable. And when we get the chance, we should just grab it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tushima. This was so nice that in addition to sharing your experience, you also shared all the credits for the due diligence that everybody did. So I would also like to acknowledge Puneet and Priya here, who actually initiated the entire project, and Amita definitely, and those who have participated in Brindaban, the concluding ceremony, I think everybody were in tears, and it was an extremely emotional meeting where the coaches also shared the transformation that happened. And these are the set of coaches who are working with neurodiverse children, which is not an easy work to do, and how it had changed their life and how they were inspired and encouraged for the cause that they're working in was just amazing. These are the moments where you feel complete and fulfilled, and you feel that what I'm doing is something in the right direction, so definitely. Anju, who is the currently director of social partnership team, she was that point of time part of the social partnership team and did an amazing job along with many others who were in the team. She just messaged me that she's in a very crowded place, and that's why she won't be able to speak. So Tushima, has she sent any message to you? Can you just check, like, for you to speak?
Well, no, I don't
Okay.
have a written message from her.
Okay, never
But
mind. So that's
yeah.
about it. So at this point of time, in the interest of time, I would pass it on to Jeff to take the discussion forward. But just before that, I would like to acknowledge Shruti Sonthalia, who was my partner for last 2 years, amazingly contributed to all the Ignite project. And today I'm missing Shruti because she's not here, and she's definitely very much responsible for the success of all Ignite projects. So Shruti, kudos to you too.
Uttara, Anju has actually sent a message on the chat. She says,
oh, did she?
Ignite and Team Mumbai Chapter. Kudos, Uttara, for your continuous guidance.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So, Jeff, over to you. You can take it forward from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uttara, and really lovely story. Tushima, really wonderful. I'm not so fortunate because to be able to coach, you know why? Chapter leaders are always back up. And we have so many coaches who want to go and do this project. And after another one and another one, and everybody want to come forward because of the stories that we share. Okay, just to continue to what Uttara says about the first project that I'm very close at my heart is ICF Malaysia's Teach for Malaysia project. Yeah, Teach for Malaysia, they have 50 staff, and of course they have teachers as well, which are on 2 years contract. And it's about education, for everyone. So we actually coach, when we started in 2020, that was our first project in ICF Malaysia. We had 18 people been coached, and over 6 months. And after that, they started to share the impact, and we brought them together, the coach and the coaches, and they shared what impact has made. And I think the impact that the stories you share in different forms would have happened to them individually and as well as the organization. But the bonus is that those coaches that were involved in Teach for Malaysia, they were actually going back to actually do something with them in terms of leadership and stuff like that. So they were hired, they were, in a way, to do those projects. And in addition, after 4 years, just beginning last year, just 2 years, right? 2020, 2022, end of 2022, 5 members of the staff of Teach Malaysia went for ICF coaching certification level 1. Yeah, so that is the kind of bonus that we get from that impact that we made besides the individual and the organization. And now they actually are very much into coaching, and they talk about coaching all the time. Yeah, so that is great. And I also wanted to share that after that, we had another organization, which is also the school principals, also about education, school principals, headmasters, vice principal, and we got 13 of them who we just closed the project. We had no problem getting coaches to come in, and they actually shared, 8 of them came forward to share, the achievement or the goals that they achieved through the project. And the organization was very happy, and we are moving to the next phase and say, what else can we do after this? Yeah. So our social impact director and the president of ICF Malaysia currently is discussing with them what is the next phase that you wanted to share. And we had another women's organization we started. That's the third one, and it's going to close very soon because I think they just finished. And Kenneth Chai, the ambassador here, council ambassador from Malaysia, was also involved in that coaching project, and that was the women's organization in one of the state of Selangor. So I think they have 12 people, and I think the project is finished, and we're going to have a closure. So, and we are going to embark on the fourth one. So it's like one after another. After the first one, it's so easy to get on. Just like India, you have so many. Congratulations. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to quickly share some of the lessons that we learned, and hope that, if Mumbai or anyone pick up new projects, or any one of you would initiate this Ignite project, it will be easier for you. And Kathleen may have shared that we have, and also Tushima, we have all the templates. We have ICF Foundation has put together a lot of resources and tools. So don't reinvent the wheel. Everything is there, from letters to agreement to slides, comprehensive and complete, I can say that. So it makes life so easy. So just click on it and you have that bonus. And the second thing that I learned from the lessons of 2020, the Teach for Malaysia project, is that choose the right partner early. I mean, some of these partners like Teach for Malaysia came from ICW 1 year before. So we put them through ICW first, and then they understand and they have experienced it, and then they come for more. And when we want to engage with them for this Ignite project, it was so easy that they say yes right away. So that is the experience that we got. Choose the right partner and move on. Yeah. And third one, you must be able to get a suitable project manager on both sides. Okay, very important, because as what Tushima said, it's very processed and there will be a lot of coordination because it's a 6 month project. Get the right person who has organization capability from the chapter members. It doesn't have to come from the team, chapter leaders. It can come from a subcommittee. And then also the other side, they must have a good project manager to coordinate, and it will make life very easy. In fact, the second project that we had just closed recently, even the social impact director decided to be the project leader because he felt that they were really, the 2 or 3 of them out there were able to help very much. And she doesn't have to do very much work. And they came up with a fantastic report. I think all of you have seen that report, right? Some of you have seen the report, and we can share it with ICF Mumbai. Yeah, and that was the impact they made. Yeah. So, and then the fourth thing that I felt why this project is so important, we are getting accredited coaches, and sometimes they are very senior coaches. MCCs also come on board, right? PCCs. And this is a time for us to engage with them. And really, the chapter leaders would personally engage with them. And we did that in ICF Malaysia. We told them how important this Ignite project is for ICF Malaysia, for ICF Foundation, and also for the partner that we are engaging with. So it's so important for us to engage with them and tell them the importance so that they are committed to this project. And we have no problem getting them committed. Yeah. And finally, very important, have a good opening and have good closing. I would want to emphasize that the closing event is so important. Get the people to share, get the coaches, get the coaches, and not all, but some of them to share. And you can do it online, because then you can get more people to come in. For example, the second project that we have for the headmasters and school principals, you guess what? We had 335 people show up online. Yeah, so that was really, really great. Yeah. So I think that's what I have to say. Thank you very much, Rashmi.
Sure, thank you so much. And before we move to the next one, Kathleen, I'm sure now everyone is curious about the 7 steps to Ignite. So can you take us quickly through what it takes to be part of it?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Rashmi, and thank you so much, Jeff and Uttara, for painting that picture in terms of the impact of the Ignite Initiative program. I just wanted to go through the process of structuring the project so that you are aware what is involved and how you can get involved. The first step, as it has been very well mentioned previously, is you have to partner with an organization whose mission and work is supporting the UN Global Goals. Then the second part is you need to recruit ICF credentialed coaches, ACC, PCC, or MCC. I just want to also add to this one and say that if you have a coach who's interested in taking part in the Ignite initiative and they're not credentialed yet, they can be able to take part as a project manager. So there's also opportunities for the ones who are not credentialed yet. And then the next step is to coach the leaders and employees and also students or beneficiaries of the partner organization. The intention is to build capacity and create social impact within the community. Then the maximum coaching sessions you can provide is 10. The minimum is 6 within a span of 6 months. We also expect you to be able to share your data and the impact of your Ignite initiative to the ICF Foundation at the beginning and at the end. At the beginning, you share the pre-coaching survey, and at the end, you should be able to share the post-coaching survey results. So Jeff has mentioned very well about the resources that we have. We have the Ignite Project Toolkit, which is accessible through the website. So if you just go to the ICF Foundation website, you will see there's a section where you can download the toolkit, and this is how it looks like for you to be able to go through and make your project easy as you manage it. The other tools and resources available, all documents that you need in terms of the MOU, the agreements that you need to be having with the partner organization, the coaching sheet, the value, the talking points in terms of the value of coaching. There's also even a video just describing what coaching is and what it is not. So you have all these materials available and documents that just makes the whole process very smooth for you. So when you come to the project management of this Ignite initiative, the first step is you need to sign the memorandum of understanding. This is done either between chapters and organizations or coaches and organization. Step 2 is to be able to recruit the ICF credentialed coaches. Then the third step is to explain the purpose of the project to the stakeholders. Very important. So Jeff has already mentioned that at the beginning, you need to create awareness about the Ignite initiative to your stakeholders, and that includes, the partner organization, the potential clients, and also the coaches. It is very important for you to have an opportunity to create awareness on what Ignite initiative to your coaches in your chapter. Then the fourth step is to develop the pre-coaching goals and select the UN global goals that you'd want to support. I want to also highlight that the pre-coaching goals, these are already predetermined through the tools that we share with you. So you don't need to start from scratch in terms of the surveys. Then we have step 5, which is to match the ICF credentialed coaches and the coaching clients. It's very critical to understand that step 5 is very important in order to ensure success of the Ignite initiative. If the matching is done poorly, then there will be a challenge in terms of the completion of that project. So it's very important that you focus on all of these steps, including mostly number 5. Then step number 6 is provide monthly updates to the ICF Foundation so that we are able to keep track of all the coaching sessions that you're providing. Then step 7 is to be able to complete the project. And as you complete it, as the ICF Foundation, we expect you to submit a report just to complete on that. So I'll stop the share and invite Sundar to take us through the next steps.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you so much. And Thank you, Tushima and team, for the opportunity to present ourselves here. So just a few points here to cover. Maybe we are already, the team ICF Mumbai Charter Chapter may already be aware. So ICF Foundation invites applications twice a year for Ignite projects. So one is in the first quarter and second is in the third quarter with a gap of about 6 months. So the first one got over recently for 2023 calendar year, that got over in that started in March and it got over in April. So that got started. So we have got about 29 massive Ignite projects for us to work on. So that is a great achievement by ICF Foundation in that. And so the next call for applications will be in August 2023. So maybe it's time for us to get prepared for application. Generally, it takes about 3 months for us to get prepared. As we all know, ICF chapters can participate. The non-profit organizations can participate, as well as individual coaches can also participate, right? This time, actually, ICF Foundation has decided that we will offer a webinar to all the interested parties who are interested in submitting applications, so that we can understand the process and work through the process smoothly. And as Rashmi already shared on the chat, you have the ICF Foundation's website, and which has all the details about the Ignite projects. So the deadline for the August call for applications is August 28th. That has also been decided. So we can work backwards now, and we can start from this. And each of these, as we have already covered that, so 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, and we are focusing on 3, specifically goals number 5, 6, and 13, primarily because it has been underrepresented. And I think all of us also know that the maximum number of Ignite projects so far that has been completed has been focusing on education. So that is another point there. So actually, the targeted regions for this calendar year, and particularly for the August application, is we are focusing on Africa and Middle East. We are also focusing on Europe and, of course, Asia, North America, Latin and Central America. These are the areas where we are going to focus on. So that's a little bit from my side to complete this. And yeah, I just want to share one experience. When everybody was sharing their experiences about the Ignite projects, I suddenly remembered that I have also done one. That was in 2019. That was with a women organization, international organization called Prevention of Crime and Victim Care, PCVC, for women. I coached one of the directors, and the impact was on reducing her stress level, because 24/7 they have been working. So there was not a break. There was no time for personal life, because they are actually they have to take care of so many women who have been affected or abused in various ways across. So this coaching helped her to structure her way of working, made her to courageously talk to the seniors and the peers, to talk about the necessity for a balance. And she had restructured her organization, put her organization in place. And there were some occasions where she just bounced off her personal issues, which has been affected because of the lack of the work-life balance. So these are some of the things which we addressed. And but at the time, I didn't know that we have to measure the impact. So I didn't do the initial survey and the post survey. So I don't know what impact it finally created. But now, as Jeff said, as Kathleen said, all the parameters and templates are in place, and we are raring to go. So looking forward to a lot of participation from ICF Mumbai Charter Chapter, and we are all here to support every member across the globe. Looking forward to active participation. Best wishes. I will leave the floor back to Rashmi.
So thank you so much, Sundar. And before, as you're typing out your questions, and before we open it out for anyone to ask whatever you want, I'd just like to acknowledge the presence of two people who are part of the team, Cora, who's our Vice President, and Kenneth. I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge your presence, a Council of Ambassador with us at ICF Foundation from Malaysia. So his smile can tell you how happy he is to be part of the foundation. So thank you so very much to both of you for being part of this event. And now the floor open to anyone to ask questions. Maybe you don't even bother typing it, just unmute yourself and ask if you have any questions.
Rashmi, I just want to say that we have close to 7 minutes, so we'll see how to manage that. Yeah,
sure. So that's why no typing. Anyone can just unmute and ask anything that you want to ask us.
Yeah, just come off mute, unmute yourselves. And also, can you please have your cameras on so we can take some photos?
I have a question. As a coach, how can I be associated with any of the projects of Ignite?
Okay, Kathleen, will you take this?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Raka, for asking the question and for your interest in taking part in the Ignite initiative. So the first process is for you to identify an organization. Of course, we've talked about the criteria. You have to be an ICF credential coach. So you can ask yourself, are you an ICF credential coach? If you meet that criteria, then the next step is identifying an organization that is working towards the UN global goals. Once you identify the organization, you just follow the steps that I shared, and we can always share with the ICF Mumbai chapter so that you understand what exactly you need to do. But I really encourage you to also access the ICF Foundation website, where it gives very clear details what you need to be looking out for as you consider running an Ignite initiative.
And added to that, Raka, you can associate yourself with somebody else who's running an Ignite project saying you're available. One very important criteria is also that you should be an ICF global member to be part of an Ignite project. That's very important. And or if you know a social organization which would benefit with coaching, you can take up the leadership and make it part of an Ignite project and maybe help facilitate the whole process. So as a coach, you can volunteer with some other project, or you can yourself initiate one through the chapter or individual. Because today we are inviting even non-profits to directly apply for an Ignite project. So you can facilitate that whole process since you're a coach and you have access to ICF Foundation. Right? Any doubts? Uttara, you know she's a veteran.
Sure. Thank you.
I actually have a question, maybe on behalf of all the chapters. So maybe to Kathleen and Rashmi, Sundar, whoever wants to take the question. So I know that this year, we are trying to reach out to the organization for no coaching, like whatever they can pay. Now, you also, like the rule also says that if they have to prove that they are unable to pay. So is there a criteria, like what will be the proof? Because I'm sure this will be a question that will come from many organizations, because especially in India, the social development organization are so used to getting free services that the first thing, even if they have money, they first will say that they will have no money. So what are the criteria? So that is something probably will help people to even choose the organization and have a conversation, because quite a few chapters have already reached out to me saying that we have organization in mind, but they haven't factored this payment part, so maybe that is something if you can explain.
Yeah, and added to Uttara's question, since Cora is also here, between Kathleen and Cora, you decide. Another question that often comes up during discussions is that coaching is normally, when we talk about the social sector, is pro bono. And this is an understanding that we have. So do you have a format on how to make it low bono, so that is there something in place for us to follow as a template when we are putting the MOU in place? So Cora, Kathleen, anyone?
Thank you, Rashmi.
Cora, do you want to take it up or I take it first?
I just want to say hello, everyone, and really thank you to the Mumbai chapter for having us today. Really a pleasure to be here with you all. And also want to thank our trustee and our Council of Ambassadors. So as Rashmi has said, really the purpose of the foundation in accelerating and implementing Ignite is really to be able to support the coaching profession. So we have introduced the reduced pay rate for this year because there have been some concern, some feedback we have received that, sometime maybe Ignite is taking away work from actually coaches that are trying to improve their practice. So to go back to the question, for this year, what we're going to do, we're going to look, as you know, ICF has just put out an international coaching study. So what we do, we're going to encourage organization and the coach to look at the rate in their region and just come up with those basic guidelines and go back to the organization and ask them if they have any budget at all to be able to pay for the coaching, because right now it's a reduced fee. So I think we want to at least have them make an attempt to, even if it's like a nominal fee, but it's important for us as we scale up Ignite that we provide our coaches the ability to be recognized for their work and to be valued. So if there is really no budget based on the coaching rate for that region, then we can have another conversation, but we'll also ask the organization to provide proof that they really need to receive those services pro bono. So I hope this answers some of the question, but I think it's important for us to just have an understanding that, as we grow up and we scale up, it's important for the volunteers to be recognized for their work. So even if it's a nominal fee, I think we need to have those important conversations now. I hope this helps. Thank you.
Thank you, Cora.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So this is for Jeff or anybody who would like to take this, because Jeff spoke about impact measurement in the form of stories from client organizations. So I reckon that a lot of this is going to be very qualitative. And when we talk about measurement and impact, we look for some indicators and numbers. So is there anything that Ignite uses to quantify these impact that is typically qualitative?
Jeff, the question was for you. So you or Kathleen, one of you.
Yeah, I think, we have actually, there are templates, and also we have also modified slightly. So some of the templates, I think we can show you actually the reports that came out, right? And it's like PowerPoint, PDF kind of thing. And it's very useful, especially when it comes in graphs and, visual. Really, I mean, we have that. So it's available. There are templates available already, so you can modify them to suit each of the organization, how they want to measure it. Yeah. So Sindhu, definitely we can share with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to also mention, Sindhu, that within the ICF Foundation, we have the pre-coaching survey. So we can always share with you that specific survey. We also introduced a different aspect of the Ignite management process, which means that ICF Foundation will also be, picking all this data directly from your coaching clients. But of course, with the consent of the coaching client. Yeah. So all that we've been able to work around, we focus on quantitative and qualitative. So it's not just qualitative, it's actually quantitative mostly, but we also get deeper on the individual client just to be able to get their perspective in terms of the impact of the coaching. And they're able to bring out these very good stories that we can use to share. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff and Kathleen. That's quite helpful.
I
You're
have a
welcome.
question. I have a question. So one of the things that Jeff mentioned, which is something important to keep in mind, is to have a really strong person managing the project on both ends. Yeah. So can you define as to what is meant by a strong person managing the project, and how do you actually find such people?
Yeah.
And Jeff, you would know, because I think ICF Malaysia has done a ton of very
Okay.
high impact projects. So please
Basically,
share.
I think one of the things that we realized that some look for former chapter leaders who are in the chapters, and really like the one Teach for Malaysia was managed by during my term. He was a secretary, so he came in to manage that. And then now the social impact director managed that. So I think you would have people that you need to sort of size up that how is their organization capability based on experiences that we had with them within the chapter. That means you can look back at like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and invite them to come in. And that is one of the good criteria, because they know about ICF. They know how it works, and so you don't have to explain very much. Otherwise, it's a new member, there's a lot to do. So on the other side, you would like to also get them to commit to a leader who can make decisions, and who can really have support team to help, and really to tell them that this thing is a 6-month project. You need really support, then that will help. That will help. Otherwise, the coaches will be struggling, because I was on this WhatsApp group with the second project. There are so many, chats coming over because of the, alignment, and also people not showing up and stuff like that. You have that kind of challenges. So very, very important. Yeah. But again, to Shima and ICF Malaysia, ICF Mumbai, we are really close to each other. I'll get Kenneth and also Barry to make a call with your person, and really to help you, to support you. We are here to support you. And Barry wouldn't mind. I just commit his time, right?
Tushima, if I can also add to what Jeff
Yes,
said,
yes,
because I
please.
think it's really crucial to have the right project manager, and project manager on both sides. Both, you need a project manager at the organization side, like where the people are working, and also at our end. And I think in addition to what Jeff said, there are a couple of capabilities, the leaders can also watch. Like, first thing is structured. The person has to be structured and meticulous. Number two has to be, the people skill has to be good, because the person has to continuously coordinate, with us, like the Council of Ambassadors, Global, the organization, and the coaches, and also have to have a pleasant personality, because as people are working, there will be conflicts, there will be frustration, there will be things which doesn't go right, things people do not turn up on time, and things like that. So while you chase, there has to be some level of leadership where you can achieve results through people. So these are some of the organization skill set that is required, and also somebody who is willing to invest on understanding the process and holding the fort. It needs lots of commitment and accountability. If you think of, actually, you should just think of Amita's capability. I think she was just perfect. So think of what all capabilities Amita had, and just go for that. You need lots of personal commitment and accountability, and in addition to everything that Jeff said. So because the project manager's capability will be largely crucial for the success of the Ignite project.
Yeah. And the project manager can also be one of the coaches if he's credentialed member. That's what he did. Yeah.
That's great. Thanks very much, Uttara, for spelling it out clearly. And thank you so much, Jeff, Kenneth, and Barry, who's not here, but who is going to support us. We are absolutely going to take advantage of that. Thank you so much.
Sudeep, I think Sudeep has a question.
Sudeep, yes.
Yeah, sorry, if time permits, I had a question, very quick question. So I understand, see, there are a lot of organizations, working towards community, which are very large organizations. Though decisions are made locally, but these are large bodies, take it the UNICEF or, CRY or others such. Now, I understand that there have been projects done in other parts of the globe with these organizations. I don't know how to figure that out, because what I want is, I want some successful projects as an example to go and talk locally, because it just adds credibility to go and approach these organizations.
Yeah.
So, if the team here can help or guide, it would be helpful.
Sudeep, I can give you one opportunity, and though it doesn't fall into the 3 UN SDG goal that we are targeting, I just checked, you have a Teach for India. It's a very big organization, and it's based in Mumbai. So Teach for Malaysia staff can actually vouch for that project, in a way. So this is a start that you can, I just thought of my head, and I just checked, it's based in Mumbai. Yeah, Teach for India.
Yeah, so I have been associated with them. I can say that. So Shaheen is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Old friend. But, it's just that, if we have these templates, it just allows us to present ourselves with much more authority and,
So Sudeep, I wanted to just add and mention that we actually have a list of all the organizations that have gone through the Ignite initiative across the world within the ICF Foundation website. So if you just go to the ICF Foundation website, you go to the Ignite program, the link we've already shared there, you'll see a list of all the organizations that have gone through the Ignite initiative, and that should be able to answer your concerns.
Sure, I will definitely try and look.
Yeah, I can see the time is done. I think now we should close it.
Yeah, and just before we wrap up, I also want to say there was a message that Anju posted to me, so I just want to share that. The perspective, Uttara, that you shared on, bringing in and considering low bono is definitely very valid. So thanks very much. And this year, on behalf of Mumbai, of the chapter, I can say that we definitely look forward to participating, and we do want to apply for an Ignite project. So we will be counting on your support and the support of everyone who is in our chapter for us to find the right leads and the right team to take this forward.
Perfect.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And please feel free to reach out to me if I can support it.
Thank you so very much. So if there is no formal vote of thanks from Mumbai on behalf of the foundation, I'd like to close the event. Thank you to each one of you who stayed on beyond time to clarify your doubts. And thank you so much, Sushima, Nilima, and Sindhu, for just making sure this is happening. All the very best to the chapter, and we hope and wish we can have more projects from ICF Mumbai. Thank you so very much for giving us space.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.